Konnichiwa, NEM Group CEO, no David Shaw, Des. Good morning and thank you for joining me. It's a real privilege for me to be here today. My name is David Shaw and I'm the CEO of NEM Group. For over 30 years, I've been working with major global technology companies, and aside from the challenge of making a profit, I've always sought to serve the community and customer base the business has operated in. Purpose for me has always been paramount, and this is what led me to NEM. NEM is an open source blockchain project, and within that, NEM Group comprises three separate entities: NEM Software, NEM Trading, and NEM Ventures. And together, our mission is to nurture the NEM ecosystem that has blockchain at its core. You will have all heard about cryptocurrency. Bitcoin, in particular, has been dominating recent news headlines based on its surging market value. Lately, we've seen more and more institutional investment in the space as companies from Tesla to Salesforce seek to establish a strong crypto foothold. However, this is just the tip of the iceberg. At NEM, what truly excites us are the possibilities not just of cryptocurrency, but of what lays beyond that. I and the rest of the NEM team would argue that blockchain has the power to underpin a brand new economy, one that ultimately improves trust, transparency, and efficiency for individuals, organizations, and society as a whole. Economically, we stand at a crossroads. What worked in the past may not necessarily work in the future, and what it takes for the economy to succeed has fundamentally changed. Japan stands as the world's third largest economy, and its cultural reach remains colossal. But despite its economic strength, according to the IMD World Digital Ranking 2020, Japan is 27th in digital competitiveness and 22nd in digital talent. The country has produced just 5 out of more than 500 unicorn startups globally, and these metrics fall far short of Japan's full potential, especially when you look at world-recognized and leading Japanese brands like Toyota, Sony, NTT, Nintendo, Mitsui, and Uniqlo, to name but a few. It's clear that Japan has a long and successful history as a leader in terms of innovation. The challenge now is how to rediscover and unlock that innovation once more. Blockchain is a technology that is ripe for innovation, and we believe represents a wonderful opportunity for Japan to rediscover its digital competitiveness through unique, creative, and disruptive solutions. But first, it's important to understand where we are today. We are told we are already witnessing the fourth industrial revolution, the ongoing movement being led by big tech and multinationals such as Google, Amazon, and Alibaba. These organizations have put digital disruption at the heart of their business models, and this has been central to their success. Yet we would argue that this is only the first wave of digitization, a wave characterized by centralization and at its core, one that reflects the structure and philosophy of the old economy. This remains a model that benefits the few and not the many, and which perpetuates the existing economic rules and structures. Between April to July last year, during the height of the first wave of the global coronavirus pandemic, and at a time when millions of people around the world lost their jobs or were struggling, billionaires increased their wealth by more than a quarter. The real new economy needs to change that power dynamic. To be truly transformative, the new economy must address a fundamental flaw of our economic system by shifting the nexus of power from a few corporations back towards individuals and communities. As we see it, the characteristics that define the new economy are threefold. Firstly, digitization, enabling speed and connectivity. Second, tokenization, enabling a fair reward for people's contribution. And third, decentralization, creating access for all and allowing the many to participate and contribute to the new economy. Taken together, these combined characteristics form the driving force of the movement towards a new economic model. And financial services is at the forefront of this shift and can continue to play a leading role by embracing great ideas and engaging with new technology. Which brings us back to blockchain, an inherently decentralized technology that presents a wonderful opportunity to create an entirely new financial system, one that is more open and accessible to everyone, bringing millions of underbanked or unbanked individuals into the financial ecosystem. In turn, a reimagined financial system holds huge investment opportunities through the token model and the creation of entirely new asset classes. This is especially powerful when comparing this new system against the old economy, which is centralized, closed, and reliant on intermediaries or aggregators. It's time for an upgrade. To be clear, decentralization doesn't constitute anarchy and chaos. Rather, this is a concept that will move the economic system far closer to democracy, something ultimately for the benefit of the many, not just the few. We believe that in order to truly advance to a new economy, it must be built on the foundations of decentralization, digitization, and tokenization. This shift is already beginning to take shape. To illustrate the potential for a new economy, let's look at an example of an industry that's been hugely successful in Japan: whiskey production. Whiskey has long been a popular investment as a hard asset. However, investing in whiskey, or liquid gold as it's sometimes known, is also fraught with challenges. High upfront costs and a requisite specialist knowledge of the industry, on top of a multi-year lockup of cash flows due to the aging process of whiskey, all play a role in deterring investors from the area. Blockchain provides an answer to this challenge. In partnership with Wave Financial, a securities and issuance partner, we've applied the principle of digitization, tokenization, and decentralization to one of the oldest industries in the world. The Wave Financial Kentucky Whiskey Digital Fund is a tokenized fund that represents 5,000 barrels of the 2020 vintage bourbon. The first step was to digitize the asset, the whiskey, to make it accessible and available as a fund. We then created and issued digital tokens, each of which represents a share in the whiskey fund. These tokens allow investors to trade and monetize their shares. When the barrels of whiskey are sold over time, investors will simply exchange their tokens with Wave for their share of the return on the fund. The decentralized principle at the core of blockchain has allowed many more investors to participate in the fund and, of course, in whiskey. Kentucky bourbon represents a huge opportunity for investors into a world they were previously excluded from. While many assets lose value over time, whiskey, in fact, accrues value due to its unique barrel aging process. By applying blockchain to the whiskey fund, we are able to open up this opportunity to a much wider range of investors, broadening and strengthening interest in the industry. Through blockchain, investors globally can now gain exposure to the ever-growing US whiskey market, introducing liquidity and accessibility into a fine goods market that has typically provided neither. This is just one example of how blockchain ecosystems can support this powerful new economic model. The reality is that blockchain is still a young and evolving technology, but one with huge potential. There are endless possibilities, and we have seen an explosion of application development using blockchain to improve our economy, our systems of governance, our healthcare, and much, much more besides. Think back to the early days of the internet. There were lots of skeptics then too. No one thought it was going to work, in fact, a passing fad. It started as an academic research tool with huge amounts of data and information, but not user-friendly. But it evolved, primarily to be used as a search engine at first, and then rapidly proceeded to permeate every aspect of our daily lives as innovations were layered upon the underlying technology to bring about the information and knowledge economy. Similarly, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are just the first use case of the blockchain technology. There remain so many ways in which blockchain can impact and influence the nature of social and economic interaction for individuals, organizations, and society. Blockchain brings with it an opportunity to create an entirely new economic system, one that is more open and accessible to everyone, for the many, not just the few. NEM's vision is to build and foster this growth of the new economy movement. And I again wish to stress the importance of fintech's driving role in advancing this ambition. Reimagining the financial system is one of the first steps towards realizing a better new economy. Success will not be defined with one organization winning ahead of another. It will be about everyone, individuals and organizations, participating, contributing, and being rewarded. Our approach has partnerships at its core, and it's why we're forging local partnerships here in Japan, why we are here today at Finsum, why we have joined the BCCC to contribute to enterprise adoption, and why we are actively seeking systems integrator partners to help us deliver on our vision. Symbol, a brand new blockchain that will sit at the heart of the new economy. NEM's vibrant Japanese community has and will continue to be an integral part of building out and testing our Symbol platform. This new economy will be characterized by decentralization, expanding access for all, digitization, which is about growing innovation, and tokenization, finding new ways of creating value. We're just at the start of this exciting journey, and we really welcome new ideas and new conversations, and I would really encourage you to talk to us today, over the rest of Finsum and beyond. We truly believe the paradigm is shifting. NEM is building a new, open and more accessible economy with blockchain at its core. Please come and join us. Thank you. Arigato gozaimasu.